Olivia Schofield with her speech, Decisive Action Makes All the Difference. Decisive Action Makes All the Difference. Olivia Schofield.
In my youth, I had the privilege to perform at the Royal Opera House, Covent Garden. It was June 1982, and I'd just turned 20 years old. It was a tinsy-wincy, tiny little part. I was to be a member of the crowd scene in Prokofiev's Romeo and Juliet. I was to be a guest at the ball, a fruit seller in the marketplace, and a mourner at the tragic death scene. I was totally excited, not only because my friends and family were seated in the darkened auditorium, not just because His Royal Highness Prince Charles and his new wife, Princess Diana, were attending the premiere that night. No, I was excited because I'd be sharing the stage with the greatest dancer on the planet. His leap was famous, particularly the one that took him over the Iron Curtain. The first dancer to defect from the east to the west, the great Rudolf Nureyev. Now, he was no stranger to acting decisively. On a station platform in Paris in 1961, he broke away from the Kirov and sought asylum in the West. It was a decisive act whose consequences could be felt around the globe. As fate would have it, this evening would be one of his last public performances ever. Nureyev was dying from AIDS. On stage, you could taste his charisma. Off stage, a lone chair was placed where he could rest between acts. But there was no denying his power, his presence, his prowess. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, contest chair, the night of the premiere had arrived, and it was time for my second appearance as market waif. I was but a mere peasant girl, pirouetting between market stands and picking up a plastic grapefruit in one hand, and in Carmen style, tossing my hair back, I threw the plastic grapefruit into the air and failed to catch it with the other hand. As it hit the stage, it started to roll. There was no mistaking its trajectory. I had paid some attention in science class, but you didn't need to be a scientist to realise that the grapefruit was rolling towards the dancing feet of the greatest dancer of all time. My mouth was dry. My heart throbbed in my throat. And my ears heard nothing but the sound of the plastic grapefruit rolling along the hollow stage. I knew I had to make a decision. I could make a difference, but only if I acted decisively. Either I could allow gravity to take its natural course and pray that the grapefruit harmlessly rolls between the dancer's feet and plops off the edge of the stage, missing the conductor's head and all the musicians and musical instruments. Or I had to act decisively to divert an impending disaster. I could see the headlines. Grapefruit ends dancer's career. Dancer killed by wayward grapefruit. woman held on suspicion of KGB grapefruit death plot. Dear Toastmasters, many of you might be able to identify with this sensation of sheer fear. It's that feeling one gets when one's just heard the table topics question in a Toastmaster competition at division level times 100. You have but a moment to think before lurching into action. Like a panther, I shot across the stage and managed elegantly and in character to reach down and scoop that grapefruit up in a single sweeping motion. I could see the headlines. Young talent discovered in impromptu solo performance. Prince Charles visits newcomer in dressing room. In that moment, in that split second, there was no difference between myself, a World Cup goalie, and a top business decision maker. I had to make a decision, act decisively, and see it through. Many of you out there might know how comfortable it is to sit on the fence rather than making a decisive decision. If Rudolf Nureyev can do it, and I can do it, then you can do it. So next time you have a decision to make, stay calm and act decisively. Make a difference.